Namaste. In this video, we will be looking into the profound insights in Durva Suktam of the Krishna Yajur Veda. So since this is a portion from the Vedas, let's get into the brief understanding on what Vedas are. Although I iterate this in every of my video, it's utmost crucial to understand what Vedas are before getting into the meanings. So to put things simple and short, the entire cosmos is a reverberation, and reverberation means sound. In other words, the whole cosmos, as you perceive, is an act of vibration. So every information, all forms of knowledge exist as vibration. So in ancient times, our sages, through their penance and meditative state, could tap into these knowledge through which they heard these sounds as mantras, and in parallel to that, they downloaded various knowledge of the cosmos which tallied with these particular vibrations. So they actually literally downloaded the desired or any form of knowledge contained in the universe in the form of sounds which they heard. So the sound energy, the mantra, was the pen drive through which knowledge was downloaded from the cosmos. And then the knowledge of the Vedas was passed on generations after generations through recitation. So to put it simple, the way to learn the Vedas is through recitation and meditation upon the mantras. The entire Vedas are in the form of mantras. There were countless sages, beings, advanced beings who downloaded different portions of the Vedas to contribute to what we have today. So Durva Suktam is one particular portion which is found in the Taittiriya Aranyaka of the Krishna Yajur Veda. This refers to the portion of the Yajur Veda which was exclusively learned in the forest region, which indicates a specific form of discipline, right? So Durva Suktam, in a layman term, is often very superficially translated as a hymn which denotes the Bermuda grass, the Durva grass, which is used in Ganapati worship, in the worship of Lord Ganapati, right? So in real, the Durva Suktam contains a profound truth about Kundalini, the spinal cord, and consciousness. The Durva Suktam also comes as a part of the Mahanarayana Upanishad of the Krishna Yajur Veda. Spiritual awakening is about activating and raising the Kundalini Shakti, the latent potential energy within the human system, which once aroused arises through the subtle channels called the nadis through the spinal column to induce awakening or perhaps even enlightenment. So there are several verses in the Durva Suktam. For example, one verse goes as Kandat prarohanti parushaf pari. Now, this particular verse is very special to me because it has given a very deep experience to my mentor, Sri Maunish. I would quote his experience here. So, my mentor, once in his early days, he explored the Durva Suktam, and when he recited this particular verse, he actually literally saw a hologram, visually a hologram in front of him in an awake state. He was not sleeping. He literally saw a picture, a three-dimensional picture of the central nervous system in front of him in mid-air, as though it was projected through a TV screen. The graphic details of the brain and the spinal column were physically manifesting in front of him. Now this actually denoted the Kundalini Shakti, right? And sometime after, he was actually looking into the meaning of Katyayani, which the word Katyayani comes from the roots Ka, Ati and Ayani. Through the dictionary, when he actually stumbled upon the verse Kandat Prarohanti Parushaf Pari, which comes in the Durva Suktam. Now this verse was given as a reference for the word Katyayani. Katyayani is one of the sound forms for Shakti. Now the sound Kandat and Katyayani have the same root sound Ka. Now interestingly, the Lalita Trishati from the Brahmanda Purana also reveres the sound Ka. In fact, the Lalita Trishati is considered to be the secret knowledge bestowed to sage Agastya by Lord Hayagriva. Lord Hayagriva is the form of Lord Vishnu who has the head of a horse. So as per this Purana, Lalita Devi is the very form of Ka. She is referred to as Kakara Rupa, the very form of the sound Ka. Right? So here we again see a connection between Kandat and Katyayani, who is none other than Shakti. And Kundalini is very Shakti. Kundalini is the very manifestation of Shakti. So, why is the Kundalini Shakti represented by the Durva grass in this Suktam? The Durva grass is the very blueprint of the spinal cord and Kundalini. Its very form, if you look at this blade of grass, it literally represents the spinal cord. This is why the verses of Durva Suktam do appear to speak about the grass actually denote the spinal cord. And this was revealed to my mentor when he recited that particular verse. And again here, we look at why, again, the Vedas are meant to be learned through recitation. Because the mental logic can never penetrate the depths of the Vedas. As the Vedas were downloaded through sounds which were heard, so you too should re-establish, recreate these particular sounds through recitation, through the correct pronunciations and intonations and meters laid to experience or to have the realization of the particular knowledge as what my mentor experienced. Now let us look at other examples of or how some elements of nature tend to represent or hold their role as the blueprint of other subtle entities. For example, the walnuts bear a resemblance to the human brain. And interestingly, walnuts are particularly healthy for the brain. Now, this is just an analogy, this is just an example. So similarly, the Durva grass is a blueprint to the very spinal cord. The Durva grass is the form of the spinal cord, so as to say. And this is also why the Durva grass is unique, is special in the worship of Lord Ganesha. In fact, in the Ganapati Upanishad of the Atharva Veda, we have a verse which comes as Yo Durvang Kurair Yajati Savaishravano Pamo Bhavati, literally meaning that one who studies the Ganapati Upanishad and offers the Durva grass in a yaga becomes as prosperous as the Lord of Wealth, Kubera. So Lord Ganesha holds a link to Durva grass because he is the presiding deity of the Mooladhara chakra, the base chakra, the basic chakra, the root chakra, anything you may call it, the most important or perhaps the chakra through which you initiate Kundalini awakening. That is the root chakra which you have to awaken in order for the Kundalini to rise up across all chakras to awaken your consciousness. So the Mooladhara is like the initiator of the awakening of the Kundalini, and the Mooladhara is very well represented by Lord Ganesha. Again, in the Ganapati Upanishad of the Atharva Veda, you find Lord Ganesha being quoted as the deity who dwells in the Mooladhara. In the verse, Tvam Mooladhara sthitosi nityam. So this is why Durva grass is special in the worship of Lord Ganesha. And again, this explains why this Suktam comes under the secretive Aranyaka portion of the Vedas, which was originally learned under strict discipline in the forest region, because it contains so much of truth and depth. Also, the Durva Suktam, when recited, awakens the Kundalini Shakti. This is not very much propagated. In fact, commonly the Durva Suktam is said to purify one, and it is recited when one takes shower. Traditionally, some recite the Durva Suktam during their bath, but now we know that Durva Suktam literally awakens the Kundalini Shakti. It is the very description, the very sound form of the Kundalini Shakti. Thank you for watching.